How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a good day. Carl Jung once said that unless you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. That right there seems to be the core of so much of the work that so many of us who come at the world from the perspective of adult children of alcoholics and dysfunctional households are doing every single day. When we grow up in an environment like that, that's unpredictable, chaotic, we learn certain survival skills. We learn how to read the terrain. We learn that we either have to duck, keep ourselves low, stay out of the range of fire, or we learn to lash out in anger to make ourselves bigger, stronger, less vulnerable. And until we start to explore these things even later in life because they're rooted so deeply, we find ourselves involved in the same types of situations over and over again, the same dysfunctional relationships. It's like we walk into the same story again and again, only the names and the characters are slightly different. If you've been following these videos at all, you know that for the last couple of weeks I've been out here in the yard quite a bit, involved in some gardening projects and playing in the dirt. We're prepping for a ceremony this coming weekend, so that work is kind of ramped up a little bit. And I love it. I love being out here because it gives me a chance to just be, to throw myself into a project and not have to be concerned with much of anything else. One of the side benefits of that, if you can call it that, is that it gives me the space to allow a lot of things to come up, and I can deal with them while I'm working. Over the last couple of days, I've been going through periods of migraine headaches. Not the ocular kinds that I usually get, but the ones that build up into a pain or a pressure behind my left eye and eventually make me nauseous. They haven't been really intense, but they've been strong enough to keep me awake at night. Now, I'm no stranger to these. I've had them since I was about 42. And they stem from a relationship that I was in. It was a long-distance relationship that was really turbulent. It was very, very chaotic, unpredictable, especially because of extenuating circumstances involving people that used to be in this person's life and who still were for various reasons. And some of these people were dangerous. And I was told that there wasn't anything I could do, that I had to keep my distance, that I couldn't say anything. And so for that entire year, I lived in limbo, but I raged inside constantly. I had arguments. I walked through scenarios, the anger built, the rage built, and I dwelled on it quite a bit. And even though I wasn't able to take any actions, my body found ways to release the stress. And those ways were migraine headaches and grinding my teeth. Now that relationship fell apart in a year, but I was still left with those symptoms. And the one thing that really, really triggered them was this feeling of helplessness. This feeling that I was in a straitjacket that was imposed upon me by forces beyond my control. Now, there are physical reasons that my migraines can come: change in barometric pressure, bright lights, if the air conditioner runs. below a certain temperature, it can trigger them. And I've learned to adjust to these. I take some Advil, use a neti pot, go lay down if I need to get some sleep till it passes. But none of that was breaking this migraine that I've had on and off for the last couple of days. And here's the thing, there weren't any of those other physical symptoms. So while I was laying there last night with this thing going on, I decided to really look at it. I decided to really look deep at it. To feel where it was coming from. And way down deep, down in one of the corners, one of those dark places, I could feel that old rage. But it wasn't the rage from when I was 42. It was the rage from when I was 3 and 4 and 5. Waking up and walking through the life that I lived, day after day for extended periods of time. When my father was drinking, when there was arguing in the house, when things were crazy. One fucking day after another. Again and again and again, helpless to do anything about it. And so as I look at it now, that period in my life when I was 42 wasn't really the cause of it. But it was a trigger. And it was a trigger that went all the way back to those same feelings of helplessness that I felt as a child. To this day, I find it hard to deal with situations that change, that I'm powerless to do anything about. It's still in there. And so as I was laying there, I started to pray. And I said, look, can you just give me a glimpse of what's beyond this? Show me what's trying to be born here, what's trying to come into my life, because it's obvious. There's a change of some kind happening. I wouldn't be dealing with this as intensely as I am right now if that weren't the case. And as soon as that prayer was over, I heard very clearly the word peace, and everything left my body. The pain was gone. The rage was gone. The next thing I knew, I looked at the clock. The sky was getting light. The sun was starting to come up. And I felt rested. It's important not to see these patterns as the enemy. It's important to recognize that these patterns, these things we experience, are simply the means of communication that the deeper wounds within us are using to get our attention. And we can fight them. We can take an Advil. We can do our best to not behave in that way. And we can just hack away at the symptoms. But they'll resurface in another way. But if we listen to them, if we really take the time to hear what they're saying and to feel where they're coming from, we can get the full story. And we can use that information to finally begin to heal these wounds and to find the gift they're holding for us. Till next time.